Hello and welcome. As a matter of fact, there's nothing to talk about this time other than the pandemic we all find ourselves. Some time ago, I made a video talking about the coronavirus. Believe me, this has nothing to do with whether somebody is a scientist or not. It's about using your common sense. Believe me, it's about using your common sense. Now, it is no longer news that Chinese are already in Nigeria. Better still, supposedly Chinese doctors and Chinese equipment to combat the coronavirus are in Nigeria. Now, for people like us, we like to think. We like to take small details, very minute details, and then add them up together and make a very big conclusion. Just follow me so that we reason together. Let us be foolish together. Let us be stupid together. Let's just take every small details and just play around it. After all, there's no crime in accepting a single occurrence and try as much as possible to add things up so that we can come up with a single understanding. First and foremost, we were sitting at homes and we heard there's a ravaging virus in Wuhan, China, decimating the population of the inhabitant of Wuhan. We all sat down, we were tuned to our TV set, we were tuned to our internet mobile, we were watching events as they unfold. Please follow me because I'm going to take everything step by step. And for those who have the IT case, those who know too much, those who have studied books to the point that nobody can challenge their level of reasoning, let's just be stupid for once. Let's just agree that we're stupid. Let's just absorb every small detail and then try to see if we can add everything up and come up with a single understanding. That is just the essence of this video. We're just being stupid here. Let's just be stupid. Let's just be stupid. Now, the virus started in Wuhan, China, right? Okay. We were watching events as they unfolded from our TV set, from our mobile set. While these things were going on, none of us bothered when it would come to us. At this point, China has resumed manufacturing. Most of its companies are back into production, although they've blocked flights outside, but activities are gradually returning back to normal, while the rest of the world is battling with the virus, which they were battling with. It may seem a long time ago, but I think it's a month or 2 months ago, it was all about China. Suddenly, today, it's now about the US, United States of America. So, when things just happen, nothing little, no matter how little it is, crosses my attention without, brainstorming over such minute occurrences. Now, why I decided to make this video was the event that took place in China, where our consular agent, our consular in China, excuse me, this cough I cough, not be corona. I'm not going to carry and say Magnus don't get corona. Now, why I'm interested in making this video this morning is the video that went viral about a Nigerian consulate in China that was attacking a Chinese official on the embarrassment that is meted on Nigerians by the Chinese consulate. In that confrontation between the Nigerian and the Chinese, the Nigerian said the virus started in Wuhan. And the Chinese replied, "Are you sure?" Now, those who watched that video may have missed that very small segment. I don't miss little things like that. When I watch things, I pick every single phrase, every single minute, seconds of anything I watch. I try to make meaning. The Nigerian consular, is it consulate? English don't tell me this morning, I beg. Asked the Chinese Chinese man there that told the Chinese man that the virus started in Wuhan, and the Chinese man asked told the Nigerian man, or was asking the Nigerian man, "Are you sure?" That got me thinking. Got me really thinking. This is an information available to everybody in the world. And the Chinese man is asking the Nigerian man if he was sure the virus started in Wuhan. Clearly shows that there is a gameplay far beyond the conceptualization of the ordinary mind. Believe me, what is going on will take the grace of God for any small mind to even grasp the bigger picture of what is happening. Now, where I'm building this video to is how this whole thing has metamorphosed to the point that we now have Chinese doctors and Chinese equipment in Nigeria with the pretext that they are going to help us to fight coronavirus. Now, China, yesterday I was Googling the population of China. They are about 1.4 and fraction billion in population. The landmass of China is not that big enough to take the population of China. That is why there is strict regulation on childbirth, if you don't know. The virus from China has been sent to target areas, which is Europe. As you and I we're watching this video, you can see that Europe is battling with the virus. While Europe is battling with the virus, Africa is the golden goose that lays the golden egg. Now, I really don't blame the way China sees Africa, or Europe, as a matter of fact, the way they see Africa, because the black man in its true sense is bothered with survival. The black man is only bothered with what we eat today. What do we eat now? The black man is not bothered about inventions. The black man is not bothered about tomorrow. The black man is not bothered about a mentality that reasons along long-term thinking. What will Nigeria be in the next 50 years? What will Nigeria be in the next 100 years? What will be the future of our generation? The black man does not reason that way. The black man thinks about now, which is why you see most black people, when they go into politics, the only thing they think is about stealing money, because they think about, fanning their greed and avariciousness in showing off, living flamboyant life. Very recently, you could see that about 700 billion naira earmarked to combat the COVID-19 has suddenly grown wing, and the only explanation we have was that it was distributed to the very poor, who refuses to be identified as poor, and the Accountant General's office, which has been burnt, because if any inquiry is made, we will not get to the root cause. So therefore, so that we don't go astray, the essence of this video is to understand why we have Chinese doctors and Chinese equipment in Nigeria to combat COVID-19. Because I know that Nigeria is not at its worst state of battling this pandemic. Then I got thinking, USA came to Nigeria to evacuate her citizens from Nigeria. Israel was also in Nigeria to evacuate her citizens from Nigeria. Why? Why are people evacuating their citizens from a country that is less prevalent with a pandemic to a place that has a high prevalence of the pandemic. I will tell you this, and please take this for real. The firecrackers have not started in Nigeria yet. The fireworks have not started yet. For those of you who are living at home and thinking that very soon this sitting at home, this lockdown will soon be over, you are joking. You've not started yet. When the time, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks elapses, government will increase it again. Now, here is what I think. When that time comes, because of the nature of the Nigerian populace, which has very low income earning populace than the high income earning populace, it will come to a time whereby Nigerians will choose to die of the virus than to die of hunger, and people will flood the street. And then the chaos will start. This chaos will start in a country that is rudderless. Rudderless. R-U-D-D-E-R-L-E-S-S. Rudderless. That means no direction. Because right now, we don't know the state of our president. We don't know the state of our vice president. We don't know the state of the chief of staff. We don't even know who is actually leading the country as it is. So in a rudderless country, and with 200 million Nigerians that are preparing themselves to go haywire, owing to the fact that they cannot withstand the hunger of living at home. Remember that in those countries where people are asked to stay at home, government has ensured some form of palliative measure to supply them either food or cash. In our case, we are asked to stay at home without cash or food. Now, people may stay at home maybe 1 week, maybe endure it 2 weeks, but I don't think the ordinary man who depends on daily income can endure it for 3 weeks. And when that happens, I can tell you that Nigerians will dare the coronavirus. They go to say, instead make I die for hunger, make coronavirus kill me. When that comes, there will be chaos. And because we have an administration which is, pointless in its approach to basic humanitarian challenges, what we have is total chaos in Nigeria. So the people evacuating their citizens in Nigeria have already seen this, that what is going to happen in Nigeria will be worse than what we see in China. I'm not a prophet of doom, but these are just common sense, common addition. So that is when the Chinese who are in Nigeria and their pretext in bringing Chinese equipment to combat virus will now pretend to be helping us to to bring down the chaos. Now, why is it difficult for the Nigerian administration to reject this Trojan horse? Yes, because what the Chinese is offering to Nigeria is a Trojan horse. It's a Greek gift, as literary minded people may understand. Nigeria has begged China too much and has received too much stipends from China to the point that it cannot reject the Trojan horse or the Greek gift being offered from China, because Nigeria is too indebted to China to say no. God knows what type of arrangement they have arranged with these inhuman people. Believe me, God knows the type of arrangement they have arranged. I just pray it is not the type that they are willing to sacrifice Nigerian lives because of the shady arrangement they have had with China. Chinese doctors and Chinese equipment have no business to do with this pandemic. We have doctors in Nigeria. We have traditional healers in Nigeria. Some of the most challenging diseases are being handled by our traditional healers. I know of traditional healers who can cure HIV. Yes, cure HIV. But We just believe in our mind that it is an orthodox disease and therefore it requires orthodox treatment. And we have billions of nairas exchanging for the drugs that those who created the virus are offering to us. Let me tell you, very soon Europe will be through with this pandemic and Africa will be battling with it. And that is when we'll be milked. Now, China is struggling to become a world superpower. The only way they can do that is to knock out US. And the process is going on. I'm not the Trump hater, I'm a diehard Trump supporter. 150% Trump supporter. Yes, he may have his way of attacking him, but I believe that Trump came at the right time for what is happening. He is somebody that can be bought and can be pushed. By the time America is getting a solution to the pandemic, that is when I'll say, okay, we can begin to have a sigh of reprieve that the problem is gone. But so long as America is battling with this coronavirus, the world is in danger. Take it or leave it. So, to conclude this video, let us talk about China. China is hypothetically speaking, having knocked out US, Africa will now become the supplying agent of raw materials and cheap labor and geographical extension for the Chinese population to occupy. This is not a conspiracy. It's just a simple it's just a common sense. You just need to just keep your mind open. Don't be too intelligent and don't be too brilliant. Don't be too all book knowing. Just add these things up and you know that there's a greater danger before us. So the only thing I can say to Nigeria is reject the vaccines. Reject the vaccines. Whether it's from China or from Bill Gates. From my study, I can see that Bill Gates and China and Huawei, a company in China, have some deep understanding. But let's not bore this video with too many scientific intricacies. But the truth is that there's a greater conspiracy to depopulate the world, and particularly Africa. Because in truth, the rate at which Africa is growing has two ramifications here. Europe and the white population, their propensity or intention to reproduce is lowering. Whereas the blacks are populating. In another 50 or 100 years, the blacks will be the majority of population in the world. They think ahead. They are not like us who think about the food we eat today. So the best way to curb the world so that we don't have a black-dominated world is to reduce the black. And that is what is happening today. It's just so unfortunate that the average black man thinks about food. That's what black man thinks, nothing more. The black man does not use here. The black man uses here. The black man's brain is here and not here. So, let us wrap up this video by just urging Nigerians not to take the vaccine or face mask or drugs or anything. We are doing fine. There is nothing so big about the much dreaded coronavirus. If it's from the documentaries I've watched and from what I've read, if it is indeed a virus that affects the trachea, which leads to the production of mucus. Mucus is something that succumbs to hot water. Simply drink hot water and lemon so that you can increase your pH level more than the pH of the virus, which they say is within 5 to 8.5 pH level. So I'm not a physicist, but when you read and study, you can talk as well as a scientist, because you read. Africans, you don't read. You have a gadget, a phone in your hand that is a library, but you don't read it. All you do is WhatsApp and read, Google. You'll be talking like a scientist or a professor. So reject Chinese virus, reject Chinese mask, And if our government is in on this conspiracy, remember there's God, and remember people die. You will soon die and go. What legacy are you leaving? So please, I'm urging everybody, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, whether you are north or south, east, west, reject the vaccine so that we preserve the black population. Thank you very much for watching.